From the streets to the studio, from crisis to recovery, from awareness to action. Ask the Messengers. We bring you real talk about public health, addiction and recovery, and the issues that matter most in our communities. The message is hope. The message is change. Ask the Messengers begins now. Today on Ask the Messengers, we bring you interviews from some of our coverage around town featuring a senior housing press conference that was held earlier this year, plus a spotlight on local business featuring an exotic zoo. Also in this episode, an author series interview featuring Yvette Wilburn. She talks about her book, The Truth of the Matter, with our author series host, Kimberly E. Mallory.
Everybody, I am here with Captain Davis, and we're here at the Hartford Village. And what was your role today?
My role was as public instructor over some of the fire and life safety issues and fire protection systems of the building.
The information you gave, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know that stuff. And I'm not a senior citizen. I don't live in a facility like this. And we don't, well, I can say I don't have access to these presentations all the time. But just as the commissioner said, they're starting once a month meetings. Are you a part of that?
Correct. So in April, I'll be doing the fire safety plans for commercial and homes.
Okay.
So we'll be going over some of the things that we talked about today to get to the public.
Now, how did you get into this? Now, I know you were always on the fire department. When I won't say always, you had to grow up, right? No, but how did you get into instructing and wanting to help individuals in that way?
Well, I started out, I did 13 years in the field running into emergencies. And then when I came to the fire marshal division, we were part, it's fire prevention. So, and then I just got kind of paired when they're kind of with personalities and things that you wanted to do. And I kind of leaned towards the public instruction side, or letting the people know who didn't know some of these things, because it's important that they know in the case of emergency what to do.
And I just want to give you guys just a little piece. When I tell you this man, people were actually learning in there things that they didn't know. Tell our viewers what RED means.
RED, R-E-D, react, evaluate, decide. React to the alarm or situation, evaluate what's going on, and then decide the best course of action.
I'm going to be honest. I used to live at the Riverfront Apartments, and I would hear the fire alarm all the time. And I
Don't say it.
let me tell you, I never did the R part. I had the moments where I was just like, yeah, that lady's always burning something in her kitchen. I am done. What are some of the number one ways that people can kind of like think about this? And you said react, but in these apartment complexes, just tell our viewers a little bit.
So it's important to react because fire doubles itself every 30 seconds. So the longer you wait, the greater that emergency can be. And then with most fire alarm systems, you can always be called back once they find out, okay, it's not as severe as we think, or it's a false alarm. Start the evacuation process, start reacting, and then, hey, okay, it's a false alarm. I made it halfway down. It's easier for me to go back to my apartment rather than dealing with the actual emergency once it's really in its further stages.
Tell our viewers one more thing, and I know you guys, this is a lot of information, but I want you to know, what's the number one way that people kind of die in the fire emergencies?
Well, I'll kind of break that into twofold. The number one cause of fires is cooking fires or careless cooking fires, where people unattended cooking. We'll just say that. We won't say careless. Unattended cooking, and then smoking. Smoking fires. That's the largest for fatalities.
I'm not gonna hold you viewers too long. That's some of the stuff, and that's just the brink of it. That's just some of the stuff that they cover. Information about how long even a couch can hold or smolder. I was in there amazed because I was sitting there like, okay, you pretty much just saved my life, probably.
That's the point.
Captain Davis, I'm telling you right now, thank you so much for what you do with the community. I appreciate you. And listen, stay tuned. We're going to be with you. We're here to help you, right?
All right, we're here to help you. That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
We work together as a community.
Yes,
right?
yes.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh, my goodness. We're wrapping up at this birthday party. It was wonderful and amazing. You know why? It's because this guy right here, we talk a lot about different businesses, but there's no business in Detroit, in Michigan. I don't think I've ever seen a business like yours in the world. Tell our viewers your name and a little bit about what you do.
My business is called Exotic Zoo. My name is Javon Stacks. And what I really do is we provide like a hands-on experience with amazing animals, rare animals, kangaroos, monkeys, owls, sloths, horses. Just you're able to touch animals in a very special way, and we bring it to you.
And this is your business.
Yes, it's a passion I had since I was a little kid. That tortoise, you see that big tortoise I had out earlier? That was my first pet I ever had. So I had him when I was a little kid. I was only 5 years old when I first got him, and now he's like 36 years old. So I really just follow my passion, something I was gifted in with animals. So my parents always taught me to follow what I love, and that's what I did. I went to school, I studied zoology, primatology. I became a master falconer, so that's why we had the owl. And it takes a lot of work because those are dangerous birds and raptors. And then people begin to respect animals when they get a chance to see it and touch it up close and learn about it. Just bring awareness.
The amazing thing to me is like you bring things in neighborhoods, in the communities that don't normally get a chance to see those animals or get a chance to be there. So part of it for me is kind of like the fact that I see somebody that looks like me or looks like my family members, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are his animals? for a you know,
Yeah.
it's something unheard of. People don't think about doing that as a business.
You know what? That is true. A lot. Well, the thing is, you are right. It's the exposure. A lot of times, like in the inner city, in urban area, a lot of times we don't have the exposure for the support that I receive from the community. I really appreciate it because I grew up in the city of Detroit on the west side, and I had lizards and, like I said, tortoise. But to be able to interact with amazing exotic animals, it just helped broaden our perspective on different animals and different career fields that people can actually, acquire and get into.
This is a nonprofit TV show, and obviously we pride ourselves in bringing information to the community, and the fact that you educate people while you're doing this. I mean, is this reachable? Like, how can people reach you? How can they get your services?
So you can go on my website is the digit one, like exoticzoo.com.
No.
And my Instagram.
How? Oh my goodness. How can people reach you?
You can reach me by my website, the number one exoticzoo.com. And my Instagram is the same, exoticzoo. And just reach out to us, give us a call. On our website, you can give us a call, and you can book us for your school, your church event, a library, a birthday party, anything you're looking for, fun and education. And I really appreciate the love and support. We had a lot of fun today. Did we not have a lot of fun?
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you guys, he's amazing. I've never seen anybody, and I'm not just talking about, he brings it to life. I've never seen anybody at ease like he is. I mean, I have to hold my breath with some of those. Do you have any fear?
You know what? I learned to respect animals because a lot of times I don't, the fear that I have is respect. Not that I'm afraid of them, but I know what they could do if mishandled. I'm sure you have seen people in the exotic animal fields before and they pass away from a venomous snake bite or, a bite of a stingray or something like that. So you got to be really careful from an animal that is dangerous and the power that they possess. So it's really like respecting the power. It's almost like a fast car. It can go that fast, so you got to be careful on how you handle it. And that's kind of what I really do. And I do appreciate you inviting me out today. Appreciate the exposure. Letting your viewers know. And, I'm going to definitely share this on my platform as well.
Yes. Yeah. All you Ask the Messengers viewers, listen, this is Javon, Exotic Zoo. It's amazing. He's amazing. He's in Detroit area. You can catch him around the corner. Look, at your school. Amazing. You know what we do. It's a nonprofit TV show, and you have to support people that are supporting our Detroiters. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Have another amazing author with me today, Yvette Wilburn. She wrote an amazing book. It's called The Truth of the Matter. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what's in this book. And Yvette, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're so very welcome. So what I would like for you to do is just tell us a little bit about who is Yvette?
Well, Yvette is a recovering addict, a retired teacher, a mother, a grandmother, a poet, an author.
Amen. And you said recovering addict. Tell us, how much clean time do you have?
This year I'll have 36 years clean.
Woohoo! Y'all hear that? Yes. Elaborate on that. Talk about your testimony for me.
I was raised in foster care, and so I always wanted to belong to somebody. I wanted to know who I belonged to. Yeah. And for 35 years, I didn't know. And when I turned 18, I found out my mom's name. But it wasn't until 17 years later that I actually met her. But in the meantime, I had started getting high around 16 or maybe even earlier than that, just because I just didn't feel like I fit in. And I always was trying to people please or overachieve or, doing too much, and then I got caught up in drugs. First I was cigarettes, and then it was weed, and then it went into crack. And I always was a drinker, but I didn't think that I was an alcoholic. I knew I was an addict, but I didn't think I was an alcoholic. But I'm clean from all of those substances now.
Amen. Amen. So now tell us, how do you feel like you belong now? After all these years, do you feel like you belong now?
I do. I feel like that. I met my mom. I talked to her. She was alive for about 8 years after I met her. And just knowing the Lord and knowing that I'm his is enough now to just know that I am enough. I'm good enough. Because the enemy will tell you all kind of things, like you can't be too good. Your own mama didn't want you. Things like that, taunting me. And now I just don't believe him. I know he a liar.
Amen. That part.
Yeah.
That part right there. So you were on drugs for how many years?
Oh, probably about 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell the audience, what did you do? What kind of help did you get, if any, to get off of drugs?
Well, I didn't at first. I didn't think that I needed to get off drugs. I felt like I was doing okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Protective Services came and said they were going to, it was preventive services then, said that they was going to take my kids.
Okay.
And because I grew up in foster care, I didn't want them to grow up in foster care. So I was going to just stop until they get off my back and then go back to it. But I went to treatment, Eleanor Hudson. Okay. And I caught the bus there every day. And I took my kid with me. And but now I got clean. I found out that the devil was a liar. It wasn't even a spiritual program, but I found out that I had been believing a lie all the time, that you couldn't stop. Because I had never seen anybody stop. I seen them pretend to stop and start back, but I never seen anybody stop. So now I had to be the trailblazer to show them that it could be done, because I didn't have anybody to look at and say, oh, here. But now the people who coming behind me, they have me to say, well, if she can do it, and because God is not a respecter of persons, if he did it for her, he can do it for me.
Yes, especially with all these years that you have clean. You are definitely a role model. And I always say, even with your children or anybody else, lead by example.
Yeah. Yeah. And I went to 12-step programs.
Yes.
They helped me tremendously.
Right. So that's exactly what my book is about. There's no sound in my screen: drugs, truth, and faith. And I went through treatment centers, and I went through, the 12-step programs, and learning a lot about myself and who I was. And that's something that I recommend for everybody to do. It's very hard to do it yourself.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not going to tell you that it hasn't been done, because it
right.
has. But when you go to these treatment centers and you get help, you'll start understanding why you got high, and know not to do that again. Because a lot of times you'll stop getting high and not even realizing, like, well, why did I get high from the beginning? Now you back out getting high because you never even knew why you started getting high the first time. And it was the same reason.
You didn't find out your triggers.
You didn't find it out. So that's what these programs do. And that's what these programs are designed to do. So it's okay, you all, to get some help.
It is.
Don't think that you got to do this by yourself, because you will have literally a circle of people. You will have a community. It's a lot of us out here that are in recovery.
Yes, a support system. So that when you feel like you want to get high, you can call them and they'll understand.
Yes.
I know how you feel, but you don't have to do it. You don't pick up the first one.
That's right. And you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
That's the great part. You don't have to do it alone, because of the recovery community that we have is huge.
Yes, it is.
So Yvette, is there anything else that you would like to, tell the audience about what's in your book?
Well, my book is life events. It's kind of autobiographical, but it's life events told through poems, scriptures, and prayers.
Amen. Yeah, and that's what I read. And you
Yeah.
have some amazing poems, you guys. She is also a poet. So she's so phenomenal. Like I never knew that I really liked poetry until I started coming to some of the, and that's how I met her, because I was at a poetry slam or jam. What do you all call it? I was there. I don't know what it was called. All I know is I totally enjoyed it. And she is a phenomenal poet as well as a phenomenal writer. And that's why she wrote this book, The Truth of the Matter. So where can they pick this book up?
Well, you can get it on Amazon or you can get it from me.
So what I would like for you to do, Yvette, is to just look into that camera right now and give someone some words of encouragement.
You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay where you are. Things seem like they are impossible, but there's nothing too hard for God. God will always make a way. When you surrender and give it to God,
yes,
He'll take over and He'll make it happen.
If you have a recovery story of your own and would like to share it right here on our show, record the video and send it to us. Our email information is right there on the screen, askthemessengers@gmail.com.
Would you like to help us save lives? You can do so by partnering with us here at Ask the Messengers by making a donation of any amount. The people in your communities need your support. Help us extend our reach and impact more lives. Supporting our organization is as easy as a click of a button. Just visit our site shown on the screen from your phone or computer where you will see a yellow donation button. Ask the Messengers is waiting on your partnership, and your community is waiting on you.
If you prefer mailing your donations, send your check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers, and we're asking you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you to our guests today, and we hope the information shared will be of some help to you, your family, and your community. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and keep standing for what's right. See you next time, right here on Ask the Messengers.